Draw your sabers, Cloud City. Welcome on in, guys. It's your boy Cloud, and today we are here to discuss Assassin's Creed Shadows. Here we are, finally. Being a smaller channel, I unfortunately don't get review copies, and I still work another full-time job on top of full-timing YouTube, but the review is finally here. So full disclosure, before we jump into the review, the gameplay that we have recorded here is post-patch, and the review was typed up pre-patch. So anyway, we have played a total of 60 hours. Now let's go ahead and jump on into the review. First thing that we want to tackle is the user interface. I did like how minimalistic the HUD was for overall immersion, but I do have a few complaints in this field. Which one of the complaints is one that they did patch. One has to do with the merchants. I don't like that we didn't have a sell all, or why we didn't have a system where we can mark the items as junk for mass dismantling or selling. We had systems like this in like Diablo and Borderlands, games like that. Sitting here holding A just constantly over and over and over and over and over just to sell item after item. Just it wasted a lot of time. And it bothered me. My other complaint in this field would be how minimally the map gets unfogged after using a viewpoint. Unless this is a feature hidden behind what difficulty you choose. We did go through and play the game on expert. Could be, I don't know. I'd never dialed the difficulty back to see if it changed. I don't know, it's just regardless, that's very rough. We'd hit all the viewpoints in a provenance, and I'd still have quarter to half that I just physically have to run through it to unfog it. Now some of the good things about the UI that I like that I can level up and change Yasuke's and Naoe's gear without being in control of that said character. I feel like this was a very good feature to add in. With that being said, user interface, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Now let's talk about graphics and the environment. I'd have to give it a solid 9 out of 10 here. There were quite a few times I caught myself during my playtime stopping and basking in the environment. Now, is it on the levels of Ghost of Tsushima? Not quite, but it is a lot better than other games like Rise of the Ronin. Now with gameplay and combat, I would give this an 8 out of 10 as well. There are a few gripes I have here. I enjoyed the skill tree. I feel like my build really came together closer to the end of the game. Parry timing was tight. The weight of the weapons felt good. An example, slashing with the Tanto was quick and efficient, while swinging with the Kanabo was heavy and impactful. I enjoyed the variety of the weapons, 100%. Naoe having the Katana, Tanto, and Kusarigama. The Kusarigama is probably one of my favorite weapons in Neo. So when I saw this, dude, I lost my shit. Yasuke had good weapons too. My weapon of choice with him was the Kanabo. I mean, guys, it's me. I'm fucking Bonkzerker. Anytime I get something that goes either Zug Zug or Bonk or Unga Bunga, I use it. I enjoyed all of them. The only one I really didn't give the time of the day was the bow. Now I did see some crazy shit that you could do on like Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts. I was like, oh, dude, the bow looks crazy. I kind of wish I would have given this a little time. Just constant, just boop, 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 boop. It was cool. Like, I really wish I would have given it a little more time. One thing I wish I would have known earlier on was that Naoe had a skill that let her parry unstoppable attacks. That was a fucking game changer. Like, guys, if you're just jumping into Assassin's Creed Shadows, get that skill. Like, get that skill as soon as you can. I mean, I think you have to get to a certain point in the story, but as soon as that is an option, get it. I don't know if it's because I was playing on expert, but dude, they were sitting there just nonstop. They were spamming unstoppable attacks. Now onto the gripes with gameplay and combat. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the NPCs were very spammy. I was kind of just talking about it. But when it comes to unstoppable attacks, at times they were brutal and relentless. The other gripe that I would say that I have when it comes to combat, and this was probably one of my biggest annoyances with AC Shadows, but dodging in small areas that you can have like little areas you could climb down or climb up onto, like kind of like in a room, you would jump up onto a table and it would be like an auto climb. You would auto climb on the table and then you just get gang banged in the corner. It was not a good time. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Now, I found myself trying to dodge and I'd end up eating shit because Naoe or Yasuke decided to climb up and down instead of dodge. Basically what I was just saying. Another annoyance in this area is, okay, yeah, I already touch base on that. Sorry, I'm just going through my notes real quick. I ran into multiple instances that they would auto climb onto a table that was in the corner, refuse to climb off. It was bad. It was so bad. There are a few things from the previous ACs I wish they would have stuck with. This is more of a gameplay feature. Like, I miss Ikaros. I miss having the bird. I know there's a lot of people. I saw a lot of people bitching that or saying that it was a good thing. Dude, I liked Ikaros. It was nice, like, especially like going through a castle, like, and like marking people. It was so much easier than the old style Eagle Vision. Like, I mean, I like it. It takes you back to how the older games were, but I kind of wish you could have done both. Like, it would have been really nice. Okay, now let's talk about the music. And you all know how big of a nut I am when it comes to music. Like, I play games like Souls games. I play Final Fantasy, Zelda, you know, Monster Hunter. I play games that have fucking phenomenal scores. So this game, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10 on that. It was actually quite surprising how much I enjoyed the music. Finally, let's discuss the story. Honestly, fucking love the story. Story was great. Story gets a 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up. Chef's kiss. The character development on Naoe was fucking great. I loved her story. I don't know, guys. I'm just a huge sucker for a revenge plot. And boy, oh boy, did they deliver. I'm not gonna go into much detail for those of you who haven't beat the story yet, but it's worth the playthrough. This isn't exactly story related, but I think Ubisoft did very well on NPC diversity and uniqueness. After 60 hours, I don't think I saw a single NPC that looked identical to another. Each had their own unique traits, and we're talking like merchants to quest givers to people that you were saving in the wild, stuff like that. They were all diverse, and that was awesome. That was awesome. The last thing to talk about, is it worth the buy? I think so, just in the fact of this, how good the story and the gameplay was alone. I'd say it's worth every penny. After the scores that we gave, so we had a 10 out of 10 in story, we had a 9 out of 10 in music, we had an 8 out of 10 on gameplay and combat, and then we had a 9 out of 10 on graphics and environments, and then we had an 8 out of 10 on the user interface. So all in all, we're looking at a 44 out of 50, which is a rounded up 9 out of 10. So that's what I'm gonna have to give this game. 9 out of 10. Them patching in the follow road for the horse, them patching in the sell all for the merchants. I would settle with giving it a 9.5. There's still a few things that I didn't like that they got rid of. I hated that I couldn't climb everything like we did in like we could in Valhalla and Origins and Odyssey. But again, it makes sense. They're trying to make it more realistic. Okay, I get it. But still, all in all, I had a blast. And I hope you all enjoyed. And I'll catch you guys in the next review.